I finally bit the bullet and bought some better bits. That's an interesting phrase, that, you know, bit the bullet. I'm a school teacher, and I'm curious now what that phrase started as. To bite the bullet means to force yourself to do something difficult, unpleasant, or unavoidable, and to endure it with courage. The idiom is widely believed to come from battlefield medicine, where soldiers were given a lead bullet to bite down on, managing excruciating pain during surgery or amputations without anesthesia. Ooh, maybe I didn't bite the bullet. It really wasn't that unpleasant or uncomfortable or unavoidable. Anyway, I got some better drill bits finally after using these cheap, crap, rubbish Ryobi ones that just snap and chip out, and I got some good bits. Yay! Today, I'm going to be attaching the neck to this body, marking up my centre line, maybe finding my bridge position and all of that kind of stuff. It won't be a long episode, hopefully, but, you know, this guitar building fiasco, everything takes time. When you have to film it, it takes even longer. Anyway, let's get straight into this. I'm going to attach my neck with a plate and some normal screws. I'm just going to trace this little cutaway spot, and then I'm going to mark the center of the 4 holes here, just by eye. Just using a 2mm drill bit as a guide. And time to give the new drill bits a whirl. Yay! Oh, these new drill bits feel lovely. God, I'm a tall bastard. Yeah, there was very minimal chip out there. That's really cool. Push my neck in. Pull your neck in, mate. And use those 4 holes that I've just drilled as a guide with the same 2mm drill bit to mark up the position on my neck where that is going to go through. Once again, much better video of this on Milehouse Studios by Paul. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, easy as pie. Now I've got my location of my neck to my body. All I have to do now is make these holes a tiny bit bigger than the thread here. So a 5mm bit should be perfect for that. And just double checking my measurements. The thread there is 4.84, therefore a 5mm will be perfect. And the inside of that bolt is 3.33. I'm going to use a 3mm drill bit and hope that that doesn't chip out. It should be all right. I've got a 3.5 actually. I'm going to use a 3.5mm drill bit because I got new drill bits. Yes! How exciting. Time to get drilling. Come on, Chuck, get over here. Yeah, very happy with that. Screw should be able to slip through there without, yep, beautiful. That's what we want. Now I just need to drill in these 4 holes. One problem I've encountered already is this part of my neck here is a little bit too thick. My neck pocket's quite shallow at 16mm, which means my screws are only going to bite in there about, well, that's only just 12mm, I'd reckon. Yeah, 12mm. And that isn't a lot, really. I'd like that to be, I don't know, at least 14. I've got 19mm here to work with. Yeah, I'd rather get that in about 15. So what I might end up doing is routing a little recess here on the back of the neck for the plate to sit in. Therefore, the screws will be a little bit deeper. I might have a go at doing some of those threaded inserts one day. So far I haven't really found the need. You know, I've got Fender guitars and they just have normal neck screws and they seem to be holding together after 30 years. Right now all I need to do is drill these holes 3.5 mil, about 15 mil deep. I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going 3.5 mil. Look at this, look at this, 3.5 millimeters. What a little beauty. That can go back. Put your tools back in the right spot. Oh, isn't it good when you got nice stuff? Oh man, you'd think you'd learn after all these years of being experienced on this earth to buy something of decent quality. But, you know, we are frugal and cheap, and I am one of those frugal and cheap ones. I'm going to measure 15 mil on my drill bit, 15 millimeters. Give or take, you know, we're not after perfection here, we're after function. There's an old phrase in the music, not just music, in creating art, creating, you know, anything that takes time, effort, energy and patience, especially things like writing songs and recording songs, and finished is better than perfect. Should I do this on there? I should do this on there. Yeah, I'll do it on there. Don't be lazy, Chewy. Don't be lazy. How good are nice drill bits? So much better. I am going to tickle that with a little bit of sandpaper though, just to make sure there's nothing sticking up. And on my body also. Brilliant. Needs nothing. It's great. Very simple. Neck goes on. What I've got here is a little pot of wax, because I want to lubricate my tip just a little bit. Oh, insert funky music here. Wow, wow, wow. Dip the tip. Waxy goodness. Ooh. Now this is just a jar of beeswax. That helps lubricate my screws. I'm going to start by inserting one screw and just nip him up with my finger. Seems to have found the hole all right. Ooh, another one that found the hole. We're on track. That's 3 for 3. We're going for 4 for 4. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. Not going to over tighten these at this point in time. Probably would get away with the depth. Now, just like my wheel nuts, I don't know if you have to do it this way, but I always go in a pattern opposites, and I just go a little bit at a time. I'm checking my neck pocket for gaps as I go. I'm just looking along here, and that is absolutely Mickey Mouse. That's beautiful. Yeah, I haven't got any gaps anywhere. There's no gap along there. There's no gap along there. Oh, I tell you what, some things about this just make me smile, and that is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely bang on. Just put a strip of masking tape down there, and using a trusted straight edge and a very sharpened pencil to a very fine point, I'm going to mark up this edge of my neck. Once again, you want to see this done better? There's a video in the link to Milehouse Studios where you can see Paul fly through this process. Other side of the neck. I can use this same rule, which is a fret, it's a scale rule, to get my 25.5-inch scale length. Just double checking my 12th fret, which is here, and I'm putting my nut there, and I'm looking where the 12th fret is here, and that's my scale length. I'm going to double check that with numbers because, you know, maths makes sense. 12th fret, 324, 23.5. So 324 is what I go to, 324 millimeters. And then that line that I've just marked over here should be exactly 324 millimeters, and it's within 0.5 mil. I can live with that. Get out my Chinesium bridge, and I look at my high E, and I look where that's going to line up. Now I'm just eyeballing this for now, but I will get that centered better. And it's looking really good. All right, next step is, look at that. It's even got some handwritten, I don't know what language, Cantonese, Mandarin. This bridge has got the compensated saddles, which I'm a huge fan of, being a musician of many, many years. Intonation of a guitar is important. And one thing I never understood with the old original telly bridges was the non-compensated brass saddles. These are all over the place. Whoever twisted the knobs on these didn't know what they were doing. There's probably some 7-year-old in a factory somewhere. I'm looking at the distance here. This is a center rule as much as it is a protractor. 31, 31. Well, 31 seems to be the number for this guitar. There's a little center hole there. Absolutely bang on, governor. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Now from the end of my bridge to the middle of my saddle on the high E, that's wound out a long way. I'm just going to wind him back a little bit. 6 millimeters. Scale length is here. So if I go 6 millimeters in front of that, that will be where my bridge sits. 6 millimeters. 6 millimeters. That's where the front of my bridge will be. And that looks bloody beautiful. Just eyeballing the distance between my markings and the edge and making sure that's consistent. Let's be more precise. I'll use a caliper and measure it. I have got 6.75 mil, a goose pube. Just a goose pube will do. 6.67. You know what? 6.67. My eyes can't tell whether that's any different at all, to be honest. I'm also looking at this center screw to my center line. That looks pretty good. Eyeballing the center of that hole there and see how that goes. This is the one I'm going to drill into. 2 millimeter drill bit in there. Spare screw here. I'm just eyeballing the length. I want to leave about 10 mil from the end, roughly. I'm going to drill one hole to start off, nice and slow. Yeah, that looks fine. Trying to get that pretty straight. Tiny dip into the, oh baby. You sexy thing, you sexy thing. I can see your nipples where you are, you sexy thing, you sexy thing. Riveting. Watching a man screw a screw into a bit of wood. Now you've got to be really careful with these thin little Chinesium screws because a little bit of heat and friction and they'll just snap. Ask me how I know. When I start getting a bit deeper and start feeling the resistance, what I do is I slow down, I give it a little break so that it's not building up too much heat and friction, because you all know what heat does to metal. Do you, Trevor? Do you know what heat does to metal? Alright, I'm not going to tighten that harshly. I'm just nipping it up, keep that in place. Now I'm going to double check my scale length and make sure that it is all as exact as I can get it to the high E. I have got 324 millimeters to the exact. This build is coming up Millhouse. You idiot. Now I need to check something else. I'm going to put a fake nut in here, get some fishing line and just double check that everything lines up perfectly. Alright, I just robbed a little pre-cut nut from a guitar build upstairs. I'm one of the world's worst fishermen. I've got some pink fishing line here. Have a quick glance, see how that's lining up. That is brilliant. It's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I've got about 3 millimeters all the way up and down that length. Doubling checking my low E to my pre-cut nut. I went looking in my box of nuts and I couldn't find one. Now that is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to give you a quick look at that from overhead. Alright, I think that's enough for this episode. Thanks very much for watching. Please leave a comment and like. Any questions, ask down below. I'm sure to answer every single comment I get on this channel. I actually really love the interaction with all of you. That's why I'm making these videos. If you are having success with your build, let me know. If you've got some video links, stick them in the comments down there. I'd love to check them out. And so far, I'm really, really happy with how this guitar is coming along. The next episode, I will do a bit more routing and maybe some body shaping. Nearly there. This guitar is really coming together. And it's light, it's beautiful. I can't wait to play this thing. And remember, one of you lucky people is going to get to own this guitar for very little money. This will be a raffle that the donations will go exclusively to the Leukemia Foundation in the name of Jurg and Zola. This is the Jurg's Cup build. I'm not keeping any of the money that I've spent for myself either. So 100% of the ticket sales will go directly to the charity. This is a community build, and thank you to everyone who's been involved in this community, in this channel. A special thank you to Paul from Milestones Studios for so many things. The kind gesture of just shouting out a video just jump-started this channel from 0 subscribe or from 30 subscribers up to, you know, a couple of hundred overnight. And all of the people in the UK and America, USA who have been watching, thank you very much. You've all jumped on board because of Paul's channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you stick around. I hope you find some value in these videos and maybe learn a thing or two. I can't believe how good this one's turning out. Alright, that's enough bullshit. Till next time, be good to each other. Chewy out. Peace.